talk about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. Now, you obviously think LeBron James is the GOAT, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, I think that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I'm not going to be too mad if you call LeBron the GOAT, but I will say this. Let's just get into this debate right away. I'm going to use a football analogy really quickly. Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowl rings, and I think he's the GOAT as far as football goes. And while I don't understand why people think Peyton Manning's the GOAT, I understand the Joe Montana argument a little bit more just because he's better in the ring department. I do think that rings matter. I think that some people throw in Drew Brees a little bit. And while I disagree with them, I will at least listen from this perspective. Tom Brady was never this guy where we looked at and said, okay, he's talent-wise the best player in the sport. I think Peyton Manning threw a better football than Tom Brady. He played the position at a higher level at his peak. Same with Aaron Rodgers. You can make the argument Drew Brees has done the same thing. Joe Montana. Some people argue that he was a better thrower of the football than Tom Brady. While Tom Brady has the accomplishments, no doubt, he's the most accomplished quarterback ever. Not trying to dispute that. But as far as ability and just his overall aura to carry a team, if he was put in Aaron Rodgers' situation or Drew Brees' situation in New Orleans where he had to score 30 points each game for his defense to be in these games, to win games, I don't think he's as successful. So I will listen to those arguments as far as football goes. With Michael Jordan, he dominated the sport. Okay, so that's my whole thing. He was the talented guy. He, at his peak, was one of the most talented guys ever. And he won 10 scoring titles. He's got the highest points per game ever. And he was very efficient too. Like I said, 7 times when he, was a scoring champion. He did on 50% shooting, 49% for his career. That includes the Wizards days. People say LeBron James has scored more points than Michael Jordan. And you're right, but it took him 118 more games to do it. I'll say that. I think that LeBron is a better rebounder and a better passer, a little bit better IQ than Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan to me was a better mid-range shooter, had better footwork, a little bit better post-game, better free throw shooter. And I think that he fits into a system a little bit better. LeBron James is the system. And he needs the ball in his hands a lot. A lot of people think that Michael Jordan, because he shot a lot, he dominated the ball like James Harden. Michael Jordan was a very good off-ball player, got to his spots quickly, and just hit them J's, you know what I'm saying? And as far as defense goes, I gotta give the edge to Jordan. I do think LeBron James is a bigger and more versatile defender, meaning he can guard, centers at times, even though I don't think that he's messing with prime Dwight Howard. I don't think he's doing that. But either way, there's some versatility there. But Michael Jordan was a defensive player of the year one year. He led the league in steals 3 times. I think he's a better off-ball defender. I think that he's a little bit better of an on-ball defender. He has more first-team defensive selections than LeBron James. I think LeBron James stopped playing defense a couple years ago. And I didn't even get to the finals. And I'm not going to knock LeBron James for all his finals losses because you need help. You need help. I don't knock him for that Spurs series when he got swept by them in his first NBA finals because it was an accomplishment to get there. Losing to the Warriors when he lost Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, not going to really knock you for those things. But when it all comes down to things, Michael Jordan is 6-0 in the finals. And all he really needed was Scottie. Once you gave him Scottie, he took off. And when LeBron James had that Miami team, choked versus Dallas, lost by a record margin to the Spurs in 5 games. When LeBron James had his little super team and he had a chance to dominate the league, he went 500 in the finals. And that's my shortcomings with LeBron James. That's the reason why I can't make him the GOAT. If he wins another title, I will give him serious consideration for being the GOAT, but not right now. And people say Michael Jordan had help. LeBron James had some help as well. Dwayne Wade won a championship on his own. Chris Bosh was a 20-point-per-game scorer on his own on a Raptors team. He was the number 1 option. Kyrie Irving, one of the best point guards in basketball of his era. Kevin Love was a 25 to 20-point-per-game scorer at times in Minnesota. Anthony Davis is a beast. And I know he had Shaq, in the later part of his career, but Shaq was still a pretty productive player. So, I think LeBron James at times has played in a watered-down Eastern Conference. The best competition he played in the East was Paul George and Roy Hibbert. Really, LeBron? We gonna give you credit for that? I mean, I'm gonna give you credit for it, but people say Michael Jordan played in a watered down NBA. I can make the argument the Eastern Conference was watered down. And if you put LeBron James in the West, he may not make 9 straight finals. So I'm not trying to bash LeBron James. I think LeBron's great. And I'm one of the few people that appreciates LeBron James. I don't love LeBron James, and I don't hate LeBron James. I just watch the games, and I say, that's a great player. What are your thoughts as far as Michael Jordan versus LeBron, and why do you have LeBron as the GOAT?
So, first off, I just want to say first off, LeBron's the GOAT just because y'all talk about him while y'all watch Michael Jordan's Last Dance. He's topic. Nothing has been
I could talk about Kobe, but go ahead.
But they don't. They talk about LeBron. That's what I'm saying. Like, nothing. Kobe was actually in the documentary, but LeBron hasn't been in the documentary yet. His name still comes up. You know what I'm saying? Like, his name still comes up, and it's not him doing it. It's everybody else. And the fact that his name comes up, that to me just tells me he's the GOAT. And as far as your point goes, I like Shannon Sharp said something earlier this month about he made an argument about Michael Jackson and Prince. He was like, Michael Jackson, he has like the pop awards and stuff like that, but Prince, he could play the guitar, the piano, he could do all that other stuff, and he was more talented. And as the king of pop goes, you could say like Michael Jackson is the king of pop, but like Prince, he was more talented than Michael Jackson. And that's where I come from with LeBron James, okay? And you know, you can knock him for his days in Miami. You know, especially that Mavericks series really hurt his legacy. It was just that was terrible. But yeah, he's 3-6, but he made the finals 9 times. And, you know, that's in the same amount, I believe, the same amount of time Jordan was in the NBA as well. So, like 15 seasons, 9 finals appearances, that's pretty good. Jordan only made 6 in his 15 seasons. And so, you know, you can't knock him for getting there and losing. It's like Jordan lost. He just didn't lose in the finals. He didn't get there to lose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he lost in the first round. LeBron's never lost in the first round, first off. And he lost in the first round. He got knocked off by some other teams. And, you know, that Bulls team was the greatest team in that era. You know, they had the best team in the NBA for those 6 seasons. You know, that Bulls organization did a very good job. Like I said, Scottie Pippen is an all-time great, Hall of Famer. And, you know, as far as Hall of Famers go, LeBron, he's had his fair share. Dwayne Wade definitely is the best one as they go. Kyrie, he's a very good player, but, you know, his Hall of Fame thing, it's
a fringe.
Dropped off just because of his days and with the Celtics. You know, he never carried the Cavs anywhere. You know, his days with the Celtics, and you know, we're gonna see what he does with Kevin Durant. But yeah, it's kind of, you know, he's not. We can't say he's a first ballot. You know, Scottie Pippen is a first ballot. You know, Chris Bosh. If he didn't have that injury, we would have saw what he could have did in Miami without LeBron. But he definitely had his days in what's it called in Toronto. So did Kevin Love in Minnesota, but they're not. I don't think they're first ballot either. So he never. D-Wade was his only first ballot Hall of Famer that he had, really. You know, who could still produce like a Hall of Famer. And you know, Jordan had Scottie Pippen since the beginning of Scottie Pippen's career. And when Scottie Pippen got there, he said he was better than Michael Jordan. So you know, he was already competing with Michael Jordan, and when you're competing with the best, you know, you're gonna be the best. And I think it just comes down to that, like I said, that mentality that, you know, Michael Jordan has a better mentality than LeBron James. I will say that. And, you know, LeBron James' mentality changed in Miami, and I think AD has potential to be a first ballot Hall of Famer as well. And he just got AD this year. We saw what they were doing before the pandemic happened, and I think they were making themselves known as the best team in the league. The Lakers were, and really, when I thought LeBron was the greatest of all time was when he came back from 3-1. That's 73-19. Kevin Love nor Kyrie got injured, and it was kind of evened up that playoffs. And had he not did that, had he not gave Cleveland their first championship ever, then I think it would be more of a gap. But because he did that, I feel like that amounts to more than what Jordan did with the Bulls. That's just how I feel. I definitely, because the city of Cleveland just needed something, and LeBron was that something. And it's just like if you're from Ohio, you most likely one of your favorite players is LeBron James, and that's what LeBron James has done for the city of Ohio. It's just the things he does off the court for his city, for the people that need it. It's just he does a lot, and that's why I have him as the greatest.
Yeah, I will say LeBron has been doing it a little bit longer than Jordan. LeBron is still one of the top 3 players. Some argue the best player still in the NBA today. Michael Jordan was not playing basketball past year 15. I do think that his peak was a lot higher than LeBron's, but LeBron has a longevity argument. I do think that when it's all said and done, LeBron will be probably the all-time leading scorer. He's not really a scorer, so I think that's a really good argument. I think he has a case for the GOAT. I just think that a couple of his shortcomings I gotta knock him for. And I do think that Michael Jordan, I'm sorry, I don't think he loses with that Heat team. I don't. I think that he goes through, he wins all 4 championships, and I think that he find a way to get one on the Warriors. I think that his record will be a little bit better in the finals if he got what LeBron had at times, but I mean, we'll never know. We'll never know. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.